The Charlotte Hornets were founded as an expansion franchise in 1988. They became the 24th team in the National Basketball Association (NBA) and played their home games at the Charlotte Coliseum. The Hornets experienced early success, making the playoffs in their second season. During this period, they had notable players like Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, and Muggsy Bogues. However, financial difficulties and a lack of a new arena led to the team's relocation. In 2002, the Hornets moved to New Orleans and became the New Orleans Hornets. They played in New Orleans until 2013. In 2013, the New Orleans Hornets changed their name to the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Charlotte Bobcats, an expansion team in 2004, decided to reclaim the Hornets' name and history. The team became the Charlotte Hornets once again. The Hornets struggled in the years immediately following their return, but gradually rebuilt. They drafted promising players like Kemba Walker and developed a young and competitive roster. They made several playoff appearances during this period, but success in the postseason remained elusive. Fortunately for the Hornets, with Kemba Walker leaving, led to them having an awful season, but a top 3 pick to land their franchise player for the foreseeable future, LaMelo Ball. But even though they drafted LaMelo, things have still been rough. So rough that their owner, aka the second greatest basketball player ever, Michael Jordan, sold them away to somebody else, and Michael definitely created a shit show in his time in office, and now they're still a shit show with a lack of direction. I mean, just think of all the controversies their players have been in, and it doesn't help that they also suck. But with Michael Jordan gone means a new opportunity for someone else to step up in his spot. And that would be me, Naballer Plays. Now, I'm not only going to take over as GM, but I'm also going to travel back in time to the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery and see if I can either get the number 1 pick or trade for the number 1 pick with a few savvy trades to land the next NBA GOAT, Victor Wembanyama. So heading into the lottery, we have the 4th best odds to get the number 1 pick, so I was really thinking that we could do it, but unfortunately we fell to number 6, which means we go into plan B. But before we do that, I wanted to fire Steve Clifford. Just an overrated coach, in my opinion. Agree to disagree if you must, but I don't think he's championship caliber. But the guy I am replacing him with is the 2K GOAT of MyNBA auto-generated coaches, and that is Mike Stauffer. A plus in every category of coaching, he'll get the job done. Now on to the trades. So first I decided to trade Kai Jones, the 6th pick, and a 2nd for the 5th pick, and Kem Birch. Next, I traded the 5th pick and JT Thor to the Rockets for the 4th pick and Deshaun Nix. Then I traded the 4th pick and a 27 first to the Magic for the 3rd pick and a 2nd. Then I traded Kem Birch, the 3rd pick, and a 2nd to the Mavericks for the 2nd pick. And then, finally, after all that, I purpose a trade to the Pistons, sending the 2nd pick, Terry Rozier, and Mark Williams to the Pistons for the number 1 pick, and boom, it worked. Which means, with the 1st pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Victor Wembanyama, the next NBA GOAT from France. If you thought I was done, then you're definitely mistaken, because next, I decided to trade the 27th pick and the 34th pick for Jae'Sean Tate, only because none of the rookies available intrigued me, and an 80 overall is good value in the 2K trade market. Which leads us to the next part of the video, free agency. In free agency, I went after a bunch of guys, but the only one that accepted a contract was Brook Lopez, and I also decided to match PJ Washington's offer of 3 years, $43 million. Now I am not only trying to get Wembanyama in this series, but I'm also trying to fulfill the Chino Hills prophecy and bring what might be the best high school basketball team of all time to the Hornets. So I first started out by trading Brook Lopez, Jae'Sean Tate, and a second for Lonzo Ball, Ben Shepherd, and Alex Caruso. So now I have Lonzo, next is Onyeka Okongwu, and this was a little more difficult because he's still on his rookie deal. So I had to do a few trades to get it done. First I traded James Bouknight and Knicks to the Hawks for John Collins, and honestly, I don't know why I did this. I thought it would make trading for Okongwu easier, but it just made it harder, so then I traded John Collins and a first to the Pistons to bring back Terry Rozier, which I then traded for Malachi Branham and Kai Jones, which I then turned into Onyeka Okongwu. So it's like a really complicated 3-team trade. Going back to free agency, I decided to spend my cap space on Jalen Nowell, a good backup point guard that can defend, playmake, attack the paint, and is a good enough shooter. Then I signed Yuta Watanabe for floor spacing, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who is a young prospect with insane talent, who we can develop, and I had to make Gilo. Like I said, I'm fulfilling the Chino Hills prophecy, and it's only right he gets a spot on the team and a fair chance to actually show he's an NBA talent. Looking at player progression, LaMelo, Lonzo, and Okongwu went up a lot, especially Lonzo going up 3 points. Gordon Hayward and Alex Caruso go down a bit, which makes sense for Hayward. He's getting older and has had a ton of injuries, but Caruso doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest. And then PJ Washington staying put. Here's the rotation. In the next episode, I will be making another big trade, and I will play my first game. If you want to see that, like the video and subscribe. Thank you for watching.